What's good, y'all? I have not seen this video, but run across my timeline. I want to see it, man. I've never even thought that this story was a real story. So y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm obviously gonna tell y'all what I think in the meantime, in between time, man. Listen, man, it's JB. I'm finna get it. Let's get to it, man. The story of Eminem's real life stand. Right. Who knew? Alright. Shout out CobySucks, I think is the name of the channel. Shout him out, man. Alright, let's get to it. I'm pretty sure he's
Everyone knows Eminem's classic track.
Okay, let's get it.
The story of a crazed fan attempting to get in contact with Slim Shady. Well, what if I told...
Let me repeat myself. Let's get it. I like that energy, man. I wouldn't have broke the record, but I like the energy.
Told you that something similar actually happened to Eminem in real life, where a crazed fan actually called Eminem after illegally obtaining his phone number. And while no, the actual track was not based around this fan, I just kind of clickbaited you there. The parallels between Stan and this fan are plenty.
Thank you for telling us 30 seconds in. Do we watch it? Clickbaity flipper. Let's do it, man. I'm gonna watch it anyway. I'm interested. I'm invested, guys. Salute.
And this story is going to leave you amazed. So please join me as today we discuss the real life stand.
Alright, let's do it.
So the best place to start this story is with Kimberly Ann Scott, aka Kim Mathers. Born January 9th, 1975, Kim Mathers is the infamous ex-wife of Eminem and the mother of Eminem's only biological daughter, Haley. Eminem and Kim married twice, once in 1999 and once in 2006. And the duo had an extremely vicious breakup in the public eye. With Eminem...
A mistake so nice you had to do it twice, right? Unless they're still married. I don't think they are, so I'm gonna live with that. That's good. Listen, it happens, bro. It happens to the best of us. We can be the best at something, but still not the best at fostering relationships with others, man. It happens quite often. So, yeah, don't feel no type of way, man. It happens. Let's get to it, man. But to me, it also kind of sounds like M was like, so like, what's the word I'm looking for? He wasn't like a hard-headed. Well, we'll use the term hard-headed. He was just so like hell-bent on just making it work with her because of his daughter, I believe. That makes sense, right? Anyway, let's get to it.
About as hard as somebody can be bashed throughout his music. One notable example is the uncomfortably violent track Kim, which tells the story of Eminem unaliving both Kim, her new husband, and her new husband's child. Yeah. Kim is just a drop in the bucket when it comes to all the things Eminem has said about Kim, but despite that, it's said that the two have always had some sort of understanding. As such, Kim always kept in contact with Eminem, and as one would with the father of their child, she always kept his phone number, as well as a number of Eminem associates. But following her separation from Eminem, Kim started living her best life, trying her best to stay out of the public eye in the process. And one thing Kim loved to do was play bingo. One bingo hall that Kim loved was Paradise Bingo in Windsor, Ontario, which is roughly 10 minutes south of Detroit and is still there to this very day.
Bingo, my guy? Listen, and maybe this came with age, but you could win some good stuff with bingo, bro. I've never played, but I've seen people play, like, I've seen little scenes here and there, man. Man, they win some good stuff playing bingo. Bring bingo back. Let's go.
Despite being being one of the most talked about women in hip-hop history, she did in fact keep a low profile and played at this hall consistently without incident. Or at least that was the case until May 7th, 2007. During one of her regular visits to Paradise Bingo, Kim stepped outside to smoke a cigarette, leaving behind some of her belongings, including her cell phone. And when she returned, she realized her phone had been stolen. So, what happened? Well, this is where the story gets interesting.
Okay.
One of the workers at Paradise Bingo was an 18-year-old kid named Kyle Spratt, who was an upcoming rapper who was just getting started in the rap game. Spratt was looking for ways to further his music career and was also a huge fan of Eminem. And as such,
who wasn't a huge fan of him? I'm just gonna say it.
Recognized that woman who was a regular at his job was Kim Mathers. Now I want you to imagine you're an 18-year-old upcoming rapper, and the woman who was not only married to, but also has a child with one of the biggest rappers in the world walks into your job. How do you think you would react? Well, Kyle reacted by literally stealing Kim's phone, knowing he could use it to get in contact with Eminem. Kyle then left Paradise Bingo and began searching through the phone, scanning through everything such as her photo gallery. And if
this is scary, crazy. Like, yeah, people steal and stuff like that. So, you know what? Okay, now I'm playing through it a little more. Maybe this is just a kid with sticky fingers, to be honest. But he likes to steal, but he can also rap. So he's like, let me just... Alright.
that isn't a big enough invasion of privacy for you, Kyle started going through Kim's text with Eminem. Back at the bingo hall, Kim returned from her smoke break and...
Wait.
realized her phone...
I missed something. Y'all gotta forgive me, by the way, man. I am a true C student. College, I barely made it. Barely.
Go and began searching through the phone, scanning through everything such as her photo gallery. And if that isn't a big enough invasion of privacy for you, Kyle started going through Kim's text with Eminem. Back at the bingo hall, Kim returned from her...
horny ass little kid. Search through the photos first. You little fucking hornball.
Smoke break and realized her phone was stolen. And they were pretty easily able to figure out who stole it. And not too long afterwards, the Spratt family returned the cell phone to Kim. As you might have guessed, Kyle lost his job at Paradise Bingo.
Oh, for sure.
But it seemed like nothing more than a dumb kid making a dumb decision. All Kim wanted was her phone back and wanted nothing bad to happen to Kyle and wasn't gonna press charges.
They already fired this little guy. No need for anything else to happen. He's in a little town. What else really needs to happen, right? This is the way I would think about it if I was her as well. So I feel her. I feel her train of thought with not pressing charges and stuff. Let's go, Caleb.
That was until she checked her phone. It was reported that when Kim checked her phone, it was missing the SIM card, which, if you're too young to know what that is, basically it's just your phone's memory card. Nowadays, SIM cards are built into the phone. However, back in the day, you could remove these cards and access the contents of the card. And
Crazy.
Guessed, I still have the card. And even rapper CobySucks, who was very close with Eminem at this time. However, the biggest phone number he obtained was Eminem's personal home phone number. And, armed with this phone number, Kyle called it. Now, this part of the story sounds made up to anybody who...
Shouts out CobySucks. Real name, no gimmicks. And, this kid's batshit crazy, y'all. I ain't justifying it no more. This kid's crazy. Let's go.
...is hearing about it for the first time and is probably thinking, oh, this kid's just lying for clout or something like that. Well, what if I told you that since Kyle was a rapper, he had the idea to actually record his phone call?
Most homeowners have it somewhere in their house. It's that one bad window.
Now, when Sprat calls this number,
I told y'all this little nigga was crazy. Let's get back to the money.
man answers the phone. However, it's never actually been confirmed that this person was Eminem. People have argued over whether it's Shady putting on a fake voice or if it's one of Eminem's people. I personally believe that it's Eminem after listening to it, and I'm gonna refer to this person as Eminem just to make it easier to understand what's happening. So the recording starts with Eminem asking Sprat, "Who are you calling for?" To which Kyle responds, "My name's Kyle Sprat. I live in Windsor, Ontario. Long story short, I rap. I work at a bingo hall where Kim and her mom play all the time. And I fucking punked off her phone just to get your number to get a hold of you." Eminem responds by asking, "You're calling for Marshall?" Sprat responds saying, "Yeah, I got played on 95.5 a while back. I fucking got expelled for my shit. I just got fired for taking that phone to get a hold of you, bro. I take any big risk for my fucking music, man. I just want you to listen to fucking one track."
Passionate 18-year-old kid. This it's all kind of checking out. I mean, 18-year-olds are dumb. They're idiots. I was 18 once, so I can say that. A lot of the 18-year-olds I knew were pretty dumb as well, and they can vouch for that as well. I can almost guarantee you. So let's keep it going.
At this point, Eminem says, "Well, you got the wrong number right now. I don't know who you're trying to get a hold of, but there's no one here by that name." This response upset Kyle, who takes an angrier tone and says, "Bro, I'm not fucking dumb. I grew up listening to you. You think I don't know what you sound like doing a fake voice? I got fired for this shit, man. You don't gotta sign me. Just listen to one fucking song and say one word back. Be like whack or sick. That's all I fucking ask, man. And I'll leave you the fuck alone. One word." At this point, Eminem hangs up on Kyle. But just a bit later, Kyle receives a new call from the Detroit Police Department warning him to stop harassing Eminem, which supports the idea that the person he called was...
He definitely called Eminem. I want to listen to it though. Are we going to be able to listen to that recording? Caleb, please. If not, I will find it. I'll search online far and wide to find this recording. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, cool.
Actually him. And Kyle also recorded that phone call.
For sure.
Kyle wasn't deterred in his quest to become a musician and was still...
Hey, news update, y'all. Kyle, he didn't make it. Not how he wanted to.
Releasing new music during this period, including a track titled Side Note and a few others. Kyle also wasn't deterred from continuing his quest of having Shady hear his music, and began texting Eminem and Eminem's relatives, all in an attempt to get Eminem to just listen to his music. These texts continued for a bit, and Sprat even displayed one in this photo with Eminem texting Sprat, "How old are you?" and Sprat replying, "Make it easy for you. MySpace.com/Kyle Sprat. Aren't you the least bit curious?" However, these texts took a more sinister turn when Kim reported that Kyle threatened to post pictures of her children online if Eminem didn't listen to his music. At this point, Kyle was upset that Eminem didn't take the time to talk to him, so he decided to do what any rapper does when he has a disagreement with a fellow rapper. He dropped a diss track. This track is called Slim Sellout, and remember how I said he not only recorded the call with Eminem, but he also recorded the call from the Detroit police? Well, those two recordings were included on the diss track as the opening skit.
Is that illegal in Detroit? I know in some states you can do that, but like, is that illegal in Michigan? Or, fudge, they're from freaking Canada, bro. They're from Canada, bro.
Lemonade Pet Insurance.
I wonder, bro. I really do, dude. I wonder. So he does a diss track. This kid's... I don't even know what to say. He does a diss track to Eminem because he would not reply to his stalkerish behavior. Like, you're a weirdo, bro. This is weirdo behavior. And then you text and hit up all the family and then threaten us with posting pictures of my daughter. Get out of here. You're lucky Eminem didn't break your face. I'm just gonna say it that way.
The track first starts with the call from the Detroit Police Department, followed by his call with Eminem, before breaking out into a nearly 5-minute long brutal diss track. Now the diss features all the regular stuff you'd expect from a diss, calling Eminem's music trash and all that. However, Kyle took some very personal jabs at Eminem by talking about text messages he read on Kim's phone, saying, "You don't even love Haley. You neglect your kids. You just buy them presents." Yeah, I read the text messages on Kim's phone. And also saying, Kyle Spratt has an inside source, says Marshall beat Kim before their last divorce. However, on verse 2, Spratt seems to set aside...
That's why. That's wild. If that's a lie. If that's a lie. That's wild, bro. That's wild allegations. That to me, to even say that to a person that you are trying to befriend in any type of way or look for an opportunity out of them is crazy. How bold is that?
It's on Kim instead and took multiple shots at her. Spratt calls out the kind of car she drives and claims she steals and mooches off of Eminem, and also talks about alleged texts he saw, saying, "My last piece of evidence will really seal the deal that you's a hoe. Yeah, when I took your phone, I was going through your phone, sitting at home, I saw text messages from like 30 guys, like, oh, last night was good, 30 times in a row." Other notable lines from the diss track.
That was actually a bar. That was funny. "I just got fired because I stole a cell phone at my work in Windsor at a bingo hall where Kim Mathers played at and shit went wrong. And by the way, my boy is fucking Kim Mathers." Look. Diabolical dialogue that you are speaking of, my friend. I'm just gonna say it that way. Crazy.
Include claims that Spratt's friend was hooking up with Kim, and that Spratt claims he wasn't calling like a real life Stan, which is laughable because Stan lashed out because Eminem didn't contact him, just like Kyle is doing here. Anyways,
clearly,
Kyle then uploaded this song to his MySpace page, getting well over 1,000 streams in 48 hours. And this song has been archived and is fully available on YouTube. However, this was the final straw for Kim, who filed an official police report with the Windsor Police Department. Windsor Police paid Spratt a visit in regards to the situation. They reported...
Y'all think they arrested his dumbass? Hey, shout out MySpace, bro. That was a long time ago. Whoa.
Searched through his computer, however, they didn't find any photos from the missing SIM card. Once Kim was assured that Kyle didn't steal any photographs, she declined to press charges on him. However, the Windsor Police Department charged Kyle with theft and possession of stolen property. Now, this all happened about a month or so after the original theft. However, the new charges caught the attention of the media, with several outlets covering the story. And multiple outlets contacted Kyle about the entire ordeal. Kyle spoke with a Canadian news outlet where he said the following: "I'm just really desperate to get my music heard. I'm not having a good life, and I feel that my music could really help me if I really made it." Spratt went on to say he was a real dick. He pretended it wasn't him and he did a fake voice. "I was a huge Eminem fan growing up. Now it's like, fuck him." Kyle also responded to the idea...
Yo, isn't there a saying of like, when you meet your hero, like, don't meet your heroes? This is it. This is it. Let me check something out right quick, y'all. Sorry. Alright, let's get to it.
That he threatened to post pictures of their children online by saying Kim misunderstood what he meant. "I was text messaging back and forth with Kim Mathers, and she was being pretty rude to me. So I said something to the effect of, wait until I get a hold of paparazzi. But like, I was trying to get her going. It did get her going. She assumed that I took pictures of her phone, which I did not. They said that Kim thinks I'm going to put out pictures of her kids that were on the phone, which is not true. Kim was just doing that to stir the pot. And another article also spoke with his mother, who commented on the charges against her son, saying, "She's telling them lies that my son is still calling numbers from that phone, and he's not. The only number he wanted to call was Eminem's anyway." Kyle dealt with the...
Okay. That one statement unlocked everything to me. Spoiled brat kid with entitlement, thinking that his music deserved to be heard. I could almost guarantee you, bro, if I rated your music, it's probably trash. Like a 3. Like 2. Like what are we doing? There was one bar in there that made me laugh. That's it. Oh my gosh, the entitlement is beyond me. It's beyond me. But guess what, man? Here's the most ironic part, bro. Bro actually got his fame because we're talking about him X amount of years later. I mean, he posted it on MySpace. So over 10 years ago, he posted that, and we're talking about him now. So, hey, kudos to him. Kudos, man. Crazy, delusional. I can almost guarantee you, who knows? If he had the opportunity to do it again, would he? He might.
Charges over the...
Yo, he might, because he's still getting talked about. Wow, he might.
Next year or so.
And his music might get heard. Wow. Just not by Eminem.
And on April 8th,
I'm him and him, though. I'm him and him. Let's go.
2008, Canada.com reported that he was officially sentenced for his crimes. Ultimately, Kyle was placed on probation for 1 year and fined $230.
Yeah.
He was also ordered to stay away from Eminem and to stop contacting Kim Mathers. And as far as I can tell, there was no further incident. At this point in the story, I was only going off of old news sites and forum posts trying to piece together the story as accurately as I could. But I couldn't help but continuously think about one thing. Whatever happened to Kyle? And what was his opinion on this entire ordeal some 15 plus years after it happened? So I started trying to find Kyle Spratt. Kyle?
Now we getting good. Alright, Caleb, you might get a sub, bro. Literally, I just ran across your videos, man. Let's go.
Kyle wasn't hard to find by any means, although he's no longer a rapper in 2024. I shot my shot and asked Kyle about the entire situation to get his opinion all these years later. And like an absolute G, he responded.
If you want to learn how to edit...
Come on, gang. Come on, gang. Hey, before we get into it, hey, give me a second. I'm finna go get a refill. Give me a second. Apple juice. All right, y'all. We got that Olipop apple crisp soda popping. Saying Olipop apple crisp soda. All right, let's get back to the money. I want to rewind a little bit, just like 10 seconds. All right, let's go.
We're trying to find Kyle Spratt. Kyle wasn't hard to find by any means, although he's no longer a rapper in 2024. I shot my shot and asked Kyle about the entire situation to get his opinion all these years later. And like an absolute G, he responded. This is what Kyle had to say. As for how I feel about it all these years later, half of me cringes at it now that I'm the age he was when I did that. And I picture some 17-year-old stealing my dog.
I told y'all. He would regret it if he can go back and do it. Half of me cringes at it, so that means there's regret. Well, I guess not necessarily, right? Let's finish. Let's hear what he says, man. And then we'll get to my synopsis.
This is what Kyle had to say. As for how I feel about it all these years later, half of me cringes at it now that I'm the age he was when I did that. And I picture some 17-year-old stealing my daughter's mom's phone to call me, especially if I'm in the midst of the worst time of my life. I also feel bad for invading Kim's privacy. I lost my phone a few years ago, and the feeling of nakedness and worry about who's going to see what is just horrible. And I did that to her just for my own wants, so the adult in me regrets it. A small part of me, the kid inside me, will always be proud of how much I had to pull that off.
Yeah.
The guts to take such a risk.
Kind of crazy.
But if I could go back and redo the whole situation, I'd do it so much smarter now. Kyle does feel bad about what he did all those years ago and realizes that it was a bad thing. But he also has a weird sense of pride surrounding the entire ordeal.
Very
which,
much so.
listen, can you blame him? It does take some, and in a messed up way, it's kind of cool. Kyle didn't have time to say much after this, seeing as how he's a full-grown man with responsibilities. But I do plan to try and get a full interview with him sometime soon. This is where the story was supposed to end, but as I continued researching Kyle, I found another part of the puzzle which is very important to his overall story. You see, Kyle continued rapping for several years after the incident, releasing tons of music actually, and a few small-time projects, taking some shots at Eminem in the process. Kyle carried onward, and throughout his music, you could tell he matured a considerable amount over the years. Alas, as far as my research has been able to tell, he gave up his pursuit of music around 2014 with his final mixtape release, You Only Live Once. Kyle never really obtained the fame he so hoped for. However, his story took a very interesting turn that same year in 2014. Do you remember that song Side Note I told you about earlier, which was created during the Eminem situation? Well, as it turns out, that song was uploaded to YouTube by a fan on May 11th, 2010. And in July of 2014, the song had over 1 million views. The success of the song once again attracted the attention of Canadian news outlets, including the Windsor Star, who interviewed Spratt about not only the success of the song, but also the responses people have had about the track. In the article, Kyle opened up about his personal struggles with depression and opened up about how he was grappling with the fact that his own father had taken his own life when Spratt was only 9 years old. Spratt admits that he considered taking his own life as well at one point. However, the song helped him get through it.
Now it makes more sense as to why the mother coddled him and pretty much justify why he took it. It was like, well, if he took it, it was only to damn, man. See, these are all compounding factors as to why a person acts and behaves the way they do. I'm not saying it like I'm some doctor, but when you really think about it, it just makes sense. It makes sense. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to undo a lot of that trauma before you are back normal. So that's tough. All right, 2014 he was interviewed. That's crazy. All right, let's get back to it.
Also, the responses people have had about the track. In the article, Kyle opened up about his personal struggles with depression and opened up about how he was grappling with the fact that his own father had taken his own life when Spratt was only 9 years old. Spratt admits that he considered taking his own life as well at one point. However, the song helped him get through it, and he was glad it was helping others too. The article also addressed the Eminem situation, with Spratt saying the following: "That incident was a bit of a gift and a curse. I think of it now as just a funny story, but at the time, I was made to look like a weirdo. I was just trying to get my music out there. I wasn't wanting to sniff Eminem's underwear or anything." As of the recording of this video, that song is...
I told y'all that nigga was on some weirdo activity, bro. Like, that's weird. But now they're saying it was just pictured and framed that way. No, bro, what you did was weird. I understand the outcome you were trying to get, but still the means of going about it was just weird. We don't do things like that, man. It's in the past. Let's move on.
At over 8 million views, with over 16,000 comments, most of which are praising and relating to the song.
Okay.
The song itself has taken on a life of its own and is genuinely one of the most raw looks into the mind of someone going through depression that I've ever heard. And despite the obvious amateur feel, you can't help but feel something when you're listening to the song. Now, anyone who knows the story of Slim's sellout will brush it off as just some crazed fan trying to meet Eminem, and yeah, that's pretty much what happened. However, during my research into Kyle, even though he was obviously wrong about everything he did, Kyle was processing some insanely dark things while the entire Eminem situation was happening, doing it all as an 18-year-old nonetheless.
And that's what I just got. That was my synopsis out of that too, man. Well said, Caleb. I like this guy. Let's go.
No, I'm not trying to use
Caleb, Kobe.
mental health as an excuse for what he did, but imagine, you're 18 years old, dealing with the passing of your father and tons of other dark thoughts. Don't you think you might have made a few mistakes too? I mean, I would have stole a phone and tried to call Eminem, but to each their own. And with that, I think
hey, bro, in all honesty, yeah, you probably would have done crazier stuff than that. See, we'll get into what my job is later on, but I deal with a lot of troubled youth, man, and having a parent leave tragically, man, that causes some trauma that you almost can't fix. Like you almost can't fix it. It's sad, man. It's sad. And then it spirals and it acts out in different ways. So I'm kind of appreciative that it only went this route, even though, yeah, you were looking like a weirdo and there was some weirdo activity, but it could have been a whole lot worse because I see that in my everyday life. Like, I'm gonna be honest. So I'll give you that. All right, man, let's finish up your video, Kobe, bro. Good stuff, Kobe.
I'm gonna do it. Remember, posters on sale. Here's the website. Get yourself one of these awesome posters now. The Eminem Iceberg Part 2 and 3 are up now.
Not doing that.
If you came from Part 3, thanks. Tons of stuff cooking up, fellas. Or I guess I should include, like, there's no fucking way women are watching this. If you're a woman, comment below. I want to know how many women are commenting. That sounds creepy. No, don't out yourself as a woman. Oh, that's a good ending.
I like this guy. I'm so new to stuff like what is, I still don't know what Patreon is. I feel like I know Patreon is like a paid subscription thing, but like
for all of my early
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I still have the model.
Bro,
Hello? Hey, it's me. I need to ask you a favor.
Interesting. I like that guy. I'm gonna actually give him a follow, man. So look, in the meantime, in between time, man, that was kind of a crazy story. I liked it, man. I liked it a lot, man. You guys tell me what you guys think. Again, I think that it was him dealing with the trauma of the loss of his father. Like, it makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, it's an easy excuse, but you do have to realize everybody deals with trauma, and especially loss, tragic loss, different. Man, kudos to him for, like, you know, not like trying to take her and hold her hostage and be like, the only way you're gonna see Kim again is if I see Eminem, because that's a possibility. I'm just gonna be honest, bro. Like, that's a real deal possibility. Glad it didn't go that way, man. So, hey, shouts out to that kid, man, and I hope and pray for the best for him. Seriously. Shouts out Kobe. That kid's about to get us up. You know, he's about to get us up. Yeah, holla at you guys, man. We'll see you guys on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe to both of us, CobySucks, and to me. Peace.